Today is March 1st, 2024. The jury in the Nature Boy trial is out, deliberating his fate. Attorneys on both sides were closing their arguments, and just before their closing arguments, Juju was kicked out because he was not following courtroom protocol. But that's what you call young and dumb, because if he thinks his little antics in the courtroom was going to be favorable to the judge, he's wrong, dead wrong. As a matter of fact, come sentencing time, the judge may be a little strong-handed. I listened to the testimonies, and I don't think from either side they were very compelling, because Velvet did not deliver a very strong testimony, and the ones who were for Nature Boy, they're pretty much perjured themselves, because there are videos out there showing him abusing women. But pretty much the testimony on Nature Boy's side said, these young people who testified, they said that all the antics with the slapping and the hitting was just an act. And it was an act to draw people in, to draw attention. And this is how they made their money. So they really thought they were talking to a bunch of fools, that we don't know the difference between acting or when someone is seriously doing bodily harm to another individual. But they said, no, all of it was acting. And I'm talking about people like Jax, people like the wives of Nature Boy, and this young man who was kicked out of the courtroom, Juju. So I wonder how long they had to brainstorm to come up with that little bit of what they call an out. It is going to be very interesting when he starts beating their asses again, if they're going to say it's acting. He's locked up now, so they're not feeling the brunt, but when he gets out. But the brainwashing goes very deep. All these people who testified on his behalf, they are deeply entrenched in the brainwashing that is Nature Boy, the cult thinking.
The jury heard closing arguments this afternoon in the rape trial of an accused cult leader, but one person was missing.
Eligio Bishop watched the trial from the DeKalb County Jail after he refused to appear in court beyond the first few minutes because someone on the case had been diagnosed with COVID earlier in the week. Well, Fox 5's Tyler Fingert has been in the courtroom every day. He's live at the DeKalb County Courthouse tonight with the latest. Tyler?
Hey, Russ, good evening to you. The jury just began deliberating Eligio Bishop's fate. He's on trial for rape, and it comes after an eventful day where we saw one of his witnesses get thrown out of the courtroom.
Prosecutors and Eligio Bishop's defense attorney had their final chance to sway the jury Thursday afternoon in the rape trial of an alleged cult leader.
And if he forced her to consent because he's threatening her or she knows what's going to happen, that is not consent.
He did not rape her. He's not guilty of that. He did not falsely imprison her. I'm asking you to find him not guilty of that. He did not pose her to be a foreign.
The closing arguments came just hours after the trial was briefly interrupted as testimony from a member of Bishop's group, Carbonation, went off the rails. The judge repeatedly told the witness to watch what he said.
Also, Mr. Bishop she just said, you know what? He just lost his right to stay in the courtroom.
Prosecutors say Bishop raped a former group member as she tried to escape and then posted revenge porn online. During the trial, the alleged victim talked about the group's online presence, but defense witnesses said everything they did online was for views. One of the ways prosecutors say they did that is to slap each other. A member of the group testified that idea came from the Will Smith-Chris Rock incident, but prosecutors pointed out it happened after the alleged rape.
And you realize the Chris Rock slap was March 27th, 2022, right? I'm not aware of that. So it was after this incident occurred.
Bishop wasn't in the courtroom for any testimony Thursday. Instead, he watched from jail after someone tied to the case tested positive for COVID earlier this week.
My client is standing on his objection as far as going forward with the trial. He is concerned for his health.
I want him here. Everybody else is here. Everybody else is fine.
And those jury deliberations are underway right now. As soon as there's a verdict, we'll let you know. We're live in DeKalb County tonight. Tyler Fingert, Fox 5 News.
So the jury is out deliberating this case, and it's your guess is as good as mine. But if I was a betting person, I would bet that they're going to find him guilty. How could they not? Not after reviewing all those videos. And one of the wives who were on the stand said that the slapping came as a result of the Chris Rock and Will Smith incident that happened. And the prosecutor pointed out to her that this slapping that they were doing, harming each other, injuring each other, came before the Chris Rock and the Will Smith incident. But she didn't see that one coming. She was a deer in the headlight. But she answered, but not adequately. She said she wasn't aware that it was before. The slapping was before the Chris Rock incident. The way they were answering, you could tell that they rehearsed well and they were on their A game, but they didn't see this one coming. All the rehearsing they did didn't really help them much, in my opinion, because the videos are out there. They brought up the slapping incident because some of the members who were testifying against Nature Boy said that slapping was just a normal thing in that group. If he was upset with one of the ladies, he would instruct another one to slap her. And so they had to explain that away. And this was the best they came up with, that they did it as acting because they were patterning after Will Smith and Chris Rock. They also mentioned the video with Ifru when he was demeaning her and she was sitting in the car and she had to look up. And he said, look up. And he was, oh my God, I could not even get through that video. It was horrible. I never heard anyone verbally abuse another person like that. Now, she said that was acting. And I was thinking to myself, how could it be acting when you were sitting in the car contemplating leaving this man? She was actually leaving him. So there was no acting involved in this. You see, the prosecutors needed to go into some of those videos more deeply, and they would have really gotten a thorough story as to how this group operated under Nature Boy. They also could have shown that video of Malia and Velvet fighting on the beach. That was brutal because blood was drawn. It was, to me, merciless the way Velvet plummeted that woman, that her mouth was bleeding, everything was messed up. Now Eligio Bishop gave them the go-ahead to fight, and I guess he was expecting Malia to win, but he was wrong, dead wrong, because what Velvet did to that woman was really speechless. But I do hope that was one of the videos that they looked at, the prosecutor as well as the judge, because that video speaks volumes. And not only that, when they had the ring of circled and he beat Velvet into a pulp, all the members gathered in a circle and surrounded her from leaving the circle until that man beat her. Thoroughly beat her. Those are the type of videos the judge should have seen and the prosecuting attorney should have seen. Anyway, I'm hoping for a guilty verdict, that this man would be taken off the street at least for a couple of years so some of these members can get it together, because it's not quite 2 years that he's in jail and they are still loyal to him. I think maybe another 2 to 4 years, if he is incarcerated or however long, they can slowly work on themselves. Maybe somebody can talk to them for them to go into therapy and really get it together and away from Bishop. I'm talking about the ones who really want help. Anyway, guys, I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Don't forget to hit the like bell and subscribe if you haven't done so as yet. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.